The training by ActionAid International the Gambia brought together journalists and bloggers to promote youth participation in civic space. The 3 days activity held in Lower River region is part of the project empowering, mobilizing young people for inclusion in civic space and local infrastructure for peace. It's funded by United Nations Peace Building Fund. Fatou Jain, Knowledge and Communication Officer, UNPBF, the Gambia, acknowledged disclosed that the Gambia has received up to $34 million as the part of funding to empower local institutions.
The Gambia has received about $34 million and spent about $24.5 million worth of funding. If you look around, there's been a lot of work around peace and security, and a lot of that has also come from the PBF funding. The Gambia is one of the institutions that have been benefiting from fundings from the PBF. And because we're very concerned about communications and the work that has been done so far, because as much as we want to do work, we want people in the media as well to be involved, because this is how you're going to raise awareness. This is how people are going to be informed of the possible dangers, the security alerts, and all of these things. And we can never do this alone. The PBF can never do all of this. Yes, we have the fundings, but we need the institutions, we need the media houses, and we need the people as well to ensure that work will effectively be done for the country. So this will become a very impactful training for everyone, including myself, because we're all here to learn, and we look forward to partnering with everyone where and when possible.
Amadou Jallo, Communication Coordinator at ActionAid, who speaks on behalf of Executive Director, ActionAid, the Gambia, highlight the importance of the training.
As we engage in this crucial dialogue on the role of youth in shaping our civic space, this training comes at a decisive moment when young people participation in governance and decision-making has never been more important. At ActionAid, we firmly believe that sustainable development and inclusive governance can only be achieved when all citizens, especially young people, are actively involved in decision-making structures. This commitment is deeply rooted in our country's strategic paper 6, particularly under strategic priority 1, which talks about recognition, promotion, protection, and fulfillment of rights of people living in poverty and inclusion. Under strategic objective 1, we are dedicated to advocating for and promoting inclusion for women, men, youth, people living with HIV, and persons with disabilities in governance and decision-making process. This includes ensuring their representations in VDCs, double DCs, CBOs, civil society organizations, district tribunals, councils, and the National Assembly. We recognize that youth are not just the leaders of tomorrow. They are the driving force of today. Their voices must be heard in national dialogues, policy formulation, and civic engagement. Therefore, we are committed to empowering young people with the skills, knowledge, and platforms needed to actively participate in governance. We achieve this through initiatives that strengthen youth leadership, provide capacity building, and support advocacy efforts that promote greater youth inclusion. However, ensuring meaningful youth participation is not the responsibility of one institution alone. Our efforts complement those of the government of the Gambia in creating an enabling environment where young people have the space, tools, and opportunities to thrive. Society, the media, and other stakeholders. We amplify youth voices and ensure their contributions influence policies that directly impact their lives. Today, we also take this opportunity to express our profound appreciation to United Nations Peace Building Fund for their invaluable support under the Empowering Marginalized Young People for Inclusion in Civic Space and Local Infrastructure for Peace project. This initiative has played a crucial role in strengthening youth participation and fostering a culture of peace, inclusion, resilience within our communities. The role of journalists and bloggers in this process cannot be overstated. Your platforms serve as powerful tools to highlight youth-led initiatives, uncover barriers for youth participation, and hold decision-makers accountable. A well-informed and engaged media sector strengthens democracy and ensures that youth narratives are amplified. We encourage you to continue using your voices to advocate for youth inclusion and to share inspiring stories that drive meaningful change. As we engage in today's discussion, let us reaffirm our collective commitments to ensuring that youth in the Gambia are not only seen but heard, not only included but actively leading in decision-making spaces. ActionAid International the Gambia remains steadfast in its mission to work along young people, empowering them to become architects of the just and inclusive society we all aspire to build. Youth are not just leaders of tomorrow, they are the driving force of today. When given the right tools, space and opportunities, they can transform societies, shape policies, and lead with impact. Thank you very much.
Landing Bisan, the chairman, Mansakongo Area Council, highlighted that youth participation in Gambia Civic Space is highly crucial.
And I'm sure it cannot come at a better time than now, bearing in mind that our youth need to be enhanced, our youth need our attention, and our youth need us to invest in them for the purpose of not only today, but tomorrow. Not for them alone, but for our country. So because of that, coming with a program that will look at positive youth participation in the civic space is very important and is very timely. We are witnessing this indiscriminate irregular migration, which is definitely affecting our youth core, but our society in general. If you go to some communities, particularly in the rural areas, it's very disheartening. Sometimes when even there is fire outbreak, it is very difficult to put up the fire because the able force, which are the youth, have tremendously migrated to either the urban centers or by transit have gone through the back way to what we call the greener pastures, where the greener pastures are. I'm not very sure whether that's the greener pastures, but greener pastures. Yeah. Take in that. And I'm sure coming up with positive information that will tend to impact on the decision-making process of young people, but also impact on the behaviors of young people for positive change is very important. So the targeting critical stakeholders like you in the media is very important because your platforms, reach to various stakeholders. It reaches to various targets as well. There are the local women in the communities, the youth in their booths. Some of you, especially for those who are bloggers, gets to a cross-section of the community. And I am very much sure maybe that is the reason why you are targeted to be part of this training. So we want to thank ActionAid very well for that. Because whether we like it or not, we are either affected directly or indirectly. All of us are affected. So, and in the process also, all of us are stakeholders in molding and developing and empowering our young people. So we at the local councils become primary duty bearers to the process, bearing in mind that we are tasked with the responsibility to provide services to the people. And those services do not exclude the young people. That is why, and I heard somebody said, we decision-making platforms or decision-making structures. Like, I will give example of.
The training is expected to enhance the skill set of participants in their understanding of youth engagement in the Gambia civic sphere. Reporting for NBC Radio, I am Alamin Esconde.